Want to know how to find hidden cameras at an Airbnb? I'm going to show you right now. This is part 2 of Airbnb security. So part 1, I talked about general security measures in the neighborhood, what to do when you get outside. Part 2, I'm going to talk about, hey, what if I'm worried about a hidden camera? So I do get asked this. Of course, you've seen the stories in the news about creepers putting hidden cameras in Airbnbs. So let's go inside here and talk about what you can do to quickly look, how to easily find them. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are gonna say, oh yeah, just get one of those bug sweepers. If you go on Amazon and you spend $100 for some bug sweeping device that finds hidden cameras or finds listening devices, it ain't gonna work. Because those cheap things, again, if it's $100, it's not really gonna do the job. The correct equipment, if you wanted to have somebody find hidden cameras, find listening devices, is tens of thousands of dollars, and you're gonna pay a hefty sum to have somebody come in there and sweep for you. How much? Well, $25,000 is what I charge to go in for the day. So you would only do that if you were extremely worried, and obviously you gotta have some money and have a very big mansion or something. But for a regular Airbnb, clearly you don't wanna do that. You don't wanna pay that amount of money. You don't wanna buy that expensive equipment. So what do when you first get in here? Well, you wanna think like a creepy criminal. That's the most important thing to do. So these weirdos, these sickos who belong in jail, they are putting cameras in there because they want to watch people. So where are they going to put the cameras? Well, again, these sickos that want to see people naked, they're going to put the cameras in the shower area, in the bathroom area, or in the bedroom. When you come in here, and this is a very small Airbnb that we rented, it's probably not going to be the place that has cameras. However, you can look if you want. You can look for listening devices. Very important, easy way to do is just the fingertip test. So if you don't want to get underneath anything, you can just run your hands around here. Okay, do I feel anything? Does it hit any bumps? Does it hit anything that doesn't belong there? Does this light here that I'm looking at have anything attached to it that doesn't make sense, that doesn't blend in? So walking around, just observing, which people are not very good at these days because everybody has their head buried in their phone, but just looking around and observing and saying, hey, there's an extra hole in this sign here that doesn't make sense. Or, hey, like the movie show, it looks like there's fresh paint here on this portion, and there might be a little hole there. That's what the FBI calls a clue. So for this, I'm not too worried about it. I'll run my hands around, I'll run my fingers underneath. This is mostly for listening devices, but I'm gonna check, make sure I don't feel anything. I'm gonna see if there's anything that stands out here that doesn't look like it blends in. But again, I'm really not worried about this general area. I'm much more worried about bathrooms, about bedrooms and all that. So again, we'll just check, see if there's anything here, check here. So when I come into the bathroom, again, remember these creepy weirdos, shower, bathrooms. It's probably not gonna be right in here in the floor in the very bottom where I can't see anybody on the bathroom or in the shower. It's gonna be somewhere around, okay, did they do anything that stands out here? Is there anything on the ceiling? Always look up. That's something we don't naturally do as human beings. So for instance, if somebody was, I'm going somewhere with this, so pay attention. If somebody was tagging your vehicle and you're like, what does tagging your vehicle means? Well, to use a very simple explanation, somebody wants to follow you home, they put a sticker on your license plate, right? So they know that's the car to follow home. Well, a great way to tag a car is to tag it up higher, because human beings are always looking at eye level or here. They're not looking at the top of their SUV saying, hey, what's that sticker there? I didn't see it. So always remember to look up, since we don't do it very often. So if I'm here going into the shower, I'm looking up saying, okay, are there any, again, weird markings, any weird holes? Does this light look like it's not a real light? Is there anything running my fingers over this edge here that doesn't make sense, that doesn't blend in? So I don't see anything out of the ordinary. I don't see anything weird here. We'll go over to the bathroom area. Now the bathroom area, of course, there's more areas because they could put it here to see, they could put it here, they could put it here. So more for listening, I would run my fingertips all around here. I'd run it underneath here to check it. I'm looking to make sure there's nothing weird about this painting. By the way, planting bugs inside these is good, very awesome. Well, not if you're in an Airbnb, you're creepy. I'm talking about for intelligence purposes, and has been used in intelligence purposes to gain information from the adversary. But for us, meaning if you're a regular person running an Airbnb, it's really cameras you're going to worry about. Probably not listening devices, unless you're going through a divorce and then your spouse is trying to gather information, get information from you. Then if you're going through a divorce, you got to worry about listening devices, not in your Airbnb, but in your home. So I don't see anything weird about this picture. Look in the mirror, you can look behind it, make sure there's nothing strange, no wires, nothing coming out of here that doesn't belong. And again, the light bulbs are normal. Checking up there, checking, all that kind of stuff. And everything here, nothing seems out of the ordinary. I don't see any, weird markings. I don't see anything that doesn't look like a normal outlet that has an unusual extra hole. Like, hey, that looks like a normal outlet, except there's that small circle that isn't in a typical outlet. What's that? I don't see any of that. So it looks like we are good in this bathroom. As far as closets, I'm not worried about closets. Because, again, what are they going to see? What are they going to get out of that? I mean, in this small of an Airbnb, I could take the time to do it. Same thing in the kitchen. I'm not too worried about that, but I can still take the few seconds to glance around and see, is there anything that just doesn't add up? Like, this sign has a weird hole in it. This sign has a bump, and it looks like a camera, a pinhole coming out of it kind of thing. Of course, this right here says Google Wi-Fi. If I were staying in here, I would make sure and unplug everything, get rid of all that, because I've got a Wi-Fi on my own. I don't have to rely on Airbnb, and I don't quite frankly trust other people's Wi-Fi. If you did use other people's Wi-Fi, absolutely make sure you're on a VPN, virtual private network, because if you're not, you're out of your mind, since obviously 1 million people could have the Wi-Fi password and hack into you. Okay, let's go into this bedroom. Not a huge bedroom. Not a lot we got to worry about. Remember, it's probably not going to be over here because I can just do that. And so these creepers, these weirdos, want to make it where they can always see. So this picture, I would run my fingers all around. I would look at it. I'd run my fingers. Does anything stand out? Do I feel any weird bumps kind of thing? As far as the TV, I'd make sure that, hey, there's nothing out of the ordinary for the TV. If you said, hey, I'm not sure, for some reason this TV is making me uncomfortable, obviously if you see a camera, you're not going to stay there. You're going to tell the police. But if you're like, I just don't feel good about it, throw something over it. Throw a blanket over it. Throw a sheet over it. If you really felt uncomfortable, I mean, it takes 2 seconds to throw a blanket or a sheet. Of course, I could check around here and check the lamps, running my fingers all around it, making sure nothing's weird. They're not going to hide it inside a drawer unless it's a listening device. So I'm not worried about that. I would check the outlets again, make sure the outlets look typical and there's nothing strange coming out of them. There's nothing that doesn't add up. I don't see a blinking red light coming out of that outlet, which of course would not be normal, which would stand out. So I realize most people are not going to take the time to do a very, very thorough search. However, if you stay in Airbnbs a lot, take the 2 seconds to just do the easy things, meaning the master bedroom and the bathroom. Don't worry about the rest of the house and just glance around. Again, these criminals who do this stuff, these creepers, are not the brightest bulbs, so they're probably not going to do the world's best way of hiding it. It's not like we're talking about a foreign intelligence who's going to do an awesome job. It's not like we're talking about the CIA who can do an awesome job. We're talking about knuckleheads who are creepers doing it on their own. So if you take the time to look around, then you're going to find it because it's probably not hidden very well. So now you know how to find a hidden camera in your Airbnb, and I hope you never ever find one.